Hello everyone, it's Linda here, Linda Pearson from Inspired Art Journaling, hopping in on Hillbilly Scrapping. I will be starting very soon. I'll just set my laptop up here. Where is it? Come on, up you get. Just want to get comments up, so just bear with me for a second. I'll be there very shortly. That's it. Okay. Oh, hello, Annette. How are you, darling? Hi, Shell. Oh, so we've got a couple here. Awesome. I'm assuming you can hear okay and all that kind of thing. So I'll just wait a little bit more. So I hope you ladies are well. I've had a little bit of a headache today, but I'm not quite sure. I think it's more sinus than anything. But anyway, that's okay. Hello, Marion. How are you, lovely? Welcome. So you can see here I've got a few little goodies that I've got, paper artsy, a few bits and pieces. A few different things that I've got, paper artsy. I will sort of start, yep, so I'll just ease into it while we're waiting for a couple more. So yes, these are the 4 new Seth Apter paints from Paper Artsy. They're all opaque, which I personally like the opaque ones, and he seems to go for opaque quite a bit too. You can always mix them with a medium to make them translucent, but they're beautiful colours. So here they are here. They're flat, they're beautiful, and they're gorgeous. And yeah, so I can't wait to use those. And I've also got some tissue paper. I love the tissue paper. Oh, excuse me, just putting this back so I don't wreck it. Yep, they're tissue paper. This one I particularly like. It's a very generic sort of one. It's got lots of scripts on it, different types of scripts. So I've just pulled a little piece off here, and it is a ledger. So I'll probably play with that. And not a lot of thought, not so much thought, but I haven't made any real decisions about what I'm doing tonight. I've just grabbed a few things that I've had, some bits on my table. I've got a couple of these Seth Apter stamps that Paper Artsy that he's just released. I believe he has done a on Paper Artsy on the blog or somewhere that he has actually done a workshop, so you can see how him working with these in situ, and so that would be worth, I haven't had a chance to look at it, but that would be worth having a look at as well. It's kind of not a lot on this one, but I do like the idea that there's quotes. Some of them are in French, that kind of thing. These were developed for his recent retreat in France, and so they sort of complement what he's doing. And so I do like a couple of these. They're always good to add on. Also, I have purchased the poppies. This is Alison Bomber, and there are other ones on the website as well that you can have a look at. I got this one because I just love poppies, and so there's that one as well. And also I got a little stencil, so that can go with it as well. So they're just some of the things that I have got from the new range. There's a lot more. There's a few that I missed out on, so I'm hoping there might be some restocks on some of the indigo blue stuff. and I missed the email, so I missed out. But anyway, that's okay. Let's not cry. Also on my desk, I am a bit of a Seth Apter fanatic, and over the years I have bought a lot of his stencils. They're very hard to come by in Australia, although, you know, if it's a paper artsy, Seth Apter himself does not sell from his own website to Australia. He only delivers within America and Canada, which is a bit sad, but anyway, only once he let us order from there, but that's another story. But anyway, I'm digressing there, but unfortunately we have to sort of live through him via paper artsy. So these were actually Stencil Girl stencils, but I've had them for years. Also, I don't know if Jen can get these in for you, but I have spoken about these before on my Facebook. These are the Sizzix die cuts that he has, so I don't know if Jen can get those, but they are all kind of hard to come by because they sell out. And so I've had these kicking around on my table for a while. I may use them tonight. I'm thinking that I might do a bit of embossing, that kind of thing. So they're just bits and pieces that I've had on my desk, and so we'll see how the night transpires. But yep, so I'm not only a little bit, yeah, only a little bit, yes. I'm trying to be very astute about what I purchase these days, because I don't have the room, to be honest. You know, everyone keeps bringing out new products, and it's really hard because I don't have anywhere to put them. And quite often I don't use them. And I made a pact to myself a couple of years ago that I've got to start using all of the bits. All right, so I've got a little card here. I have a calendar that I do up each month. It's a calendar that I do the picture for, and so I haven't done August, so it's almost the end of August, so I thought this is a perfect time to do it. And so it's only a small space, but that's okay. I'm going to put a little bit of this stencil on here as well, not stencil, paper tissue, and so we'll sort of see how that all goes. Now, I haven't gessoed this paper. This is a watercolour paper, but I haven't gessoed it because I'm using the Paper Artsy. And one of the benefits of Paper Artsy is that they say that you don't have to gesso. Because this is a fresco finish, a chalk finish, which is a matte finish, and that's what I think I like about it too, because I like so much of Seth Apter's work. He does lend himself to using matte paints. And I don't know how it's made, but there is gesso within this formula, okay? So you don't have to gesso your page when you're using Paper Artsy as your base, so which is great. So I'm going to start off by I'm going to use the pumice, which is a beautiful colour there. I just love all these colours, and yeah, so I haven't got much landscape here to work on, but that's okay. I'm going to make the most of what I've got here. So I'm going to start off by, and welcome if I've missed anyone who has just joined us. I'm going to start off by doing the background, and I am just going to willy-nilly all over. It's quite warm in here because oh dear, too much. I've put the heater on, and so my paint's going to dry very, very quickly, and that's okay. So I hope everyone's having a good night. We've got rain, I believe, in New South Wales. There's going to be lots, and they're talking about flooding and all sorts of things happening down there, so I hope everyone's going to be okay. So it's curled up a bit. That's okay. I know it's a waste, but I'm just going to very quickly put a little bit on the back here. Mostly because I just want it to lay flat, and if I do this, that will help to keep it flat. Some people put water, but I personally try not to put water because I think it's watercolor paper. I wouldn't say it's the best brand, so I don't want it to be compromised. Hello Michelle, how are you? Welcome to any other newbies. So I'm Linda Pearson. While Jen's away, I've said that I would come in to the Shenanigans Facebook page and just have a bit of a play while she's away. I'll put that on there. Okay, so this is where I might grab a bit of my tissue paper and I'm just going to start ripping it up. These sheets, I don't know if you haven't bought them before, I would consider at least buying one lot. They have all sorts, and I think Jen's got different ones. They come with 4 sheets to the pack. It's around about $11 or $12, I think. And it's 67 by 47, so the sheets are very, very big, and you get 4 of them in the pack. And I do actually believe, because I've bought quite a few of these over the years, and I personally think that this is the better quality that they've got. The older ones have a bit of a shine to them, which is not too bad. You can always put a matte medium over it, but I love whatever paper they're using now. I just love it. It's just more conducive to what we're doing here. Now I'm going to deliberately put that over so I can cut all of that bit off. Get my matte medium, and I'm just going to glue this down. I'll just use a brush. You can use a silicone tool if you are that way inclined. So I'm just going to put some little bits over. I'm not too worried if it gets any creases or anything like that. I don't tend to get too precious with it unless I'm doing something with a face on it. I just do it as it comes. Occasionally I'll just wipe my finger over it just to help get the bubbles out of it. So that's pretty cool. I'm liking that bit. Just going to rip that edge off there and put some more. And as always, I'm just creating on the fly here. I'm very well, thank you, Michelle. Getting over the rain though. We've had far too much rain this year. My poor old garden's dying because we've had too much rain. And it's just not getting a chance to dry. Now I'm going to rip. I'm not a person who does glue that way like that. If I'm going to have it going across, I tend to rip it. I like my text to go the correct way. That's a me thing. You don't have to do it that way. So I'm making sure here that it's touching the top of the page and it goes out to the edge there. So I'm just making sure. Oh dear, I'm not doing a very good job. Quite often too, I don't know if any of you are aware that you can use a silicone tool to put your, I know a lot of you do know, but if you're new to the, or new to me, how I work, you can use a silicone tool. So is anybody creating tonight? As I'm doing this, anyone's creating, not necessarily doing what I'm doing, but doing something of their own. Put that way. Just, it's quite a delicate tissue paper, so just be careful of that when you are putting it on. I'm probably being a little bit too rough with this one. It's a lot thinner than what I'm used to. Whoops. And there, I've overworked it and I've ripped it a bit. That's okay. Put that aside. Just wipe off all this glue. With the silicone tool, I do find it is much more economical using the silicone tools. Just I haven't got it sitting here. Because you can brush off, but you do have to be careful with it to make sure it doesn't rip. So they're all different. Now I don't know if any of you have been following along with Jen's adventures. I just can't believe how much she has seen. It's just so amazing. She has so much stamina. I don't know if I could do it, but anyway. She's probably younger than me. So I'm just ripping that off because I can. Oh, that one I'll cut. So, oh, big heap there. Chop that off. Yeah, so it was a toss-up. I didn't know whether to do Art by Marlene, because I've received from Jen a whole heap of Art by Marlene that I pre-ordered. So it was a toss-up whether to, what to do. Just going to dry. I'm going to use this dryer because it's quicker. Hello, Michelle. Oh, we've got all the Michelles here tonight. And Michelle Kenner, you must be exhausted because you have been creating up a storm by all accounts, and it's wonderful what I've seen you do, so well done to you. Okay. Alright, now what do I want to do now? Just get rid of this. What I might do is I might grab my silicone tool. Let me just see if I can find one close by. Here's one. So when I talk about a silicone tool, this is what I mean. This is a catalyst tool. There are different brands. I personally like the catalyst tool. It's my favourite. And I actually love applying paint. Oh, of course. Well, you were busy. Okay, so I think what I will do is I'm going to use this Admiral. Okay, and I'm just going to just put a little bit of paint on here. And when I'm doing what I call the kissing technique, I like this because it's got a flat surface, so it needs to have a flat surface. And I just tap, tap, tap. It's a little bit like when you're using the blending tool. You've got to get, you don't want too much paint on your tool. And then I just, and this is just a way of getting some paint down, because I don't want to cover up too much of my tissue paper if I can, but I'm not going to cry if I do. But it's just a nice way to get some of that paint down. I'll bring this over here. Just need to make sure I'm in camera all the time. I get a bit carried away sometimes. I'm just going to put a little bit more of the pumice, and that was Admiral. I'm not clean, haven't cleaned my brush, and so again I'm bringing back in some of that the background colour, and it's mixing with the Admiral too, so it's making a different hue, a different shade of colour. But I've just pushed back that Admiral so that it's not too in your face, but you can still see some of that tissue paper in the background there. Dry that off. What I do like about this is when I put on the tissue paper with the matte medium, I did get a few creases and that kind of thing on it, but I'm actually liking that because when I do this kissing technique, it's kind of as a resist over there, and you get these beautiful little textural marks, and I quite like that. I'll bring it up and show you in a moment. So I don't know if you can sort of see there that there's a crease there, and over here I actually ripped it, you know, when I was pushing it around I actually ripped it a little bit. So you get these little textural marks, and to me they just add to the look of it. It does, it gives it texture. So I might grab a little bit of this, is called Kiln. They're the 4 colours there. I do love Paper Artsy. I do love that matte finish, and I go through stages where I will use it. It's a beautiful paint. Now I have to be honest, I haven't tried the Matins, but I do believe that they would be equally as good. So let's just bring that up and so you can have a bit of a look. So I've got 3 colours there very quickly, and I haven't really done much, done no stenciling at this point, which is good. I'm going to bring that in the moment. Just waiting for this to catch up so you can sort of see. They just look so beautiful together, these colours. Ah, yes. I've been looking at that myself too. It does look quite interesting. Yeah, she's another one that brings out some beautiful colours as well. Seth likes his sort of more muted sort of tones, whereas Tracy, she goes for the big and vibrant. Oh, sorry, colour palettes. All right, sorry about that. I was just having a bit of a drink. Now, I've got this stencil here. I'm not even sure which way it goes. It goes that way. There it is. It's got some marks. It's just for mark making. So I'm just going to just randomly put this all over. No real rhyme or reason. I'm going to use the green on this one this time. And look, it's next to those colours that I had before. If it picks up some of that, I'm not going to be too worried about that. I shall just grab a makeup sponge, dab it, always dab off, dab into the paint and then dab it off, because you don't need much. I always take my stencil off the page, and not necessarily going to do it all over. I am going to do the stencil a few times because that's what I like to do. But like I say, I don't have much real estate here to work on, so it's not going to take much to sort of cover up what I'm doing here, and just put a little bit there. Alright, so what I might do is I'm going to use the pumice, and this time I'm going to mix a bit of pumice and the green together so we get a lighter colour green. What's that green? Castleton. Ooh, very swish names too. It's worth, actually, I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it is worth going on to the Paper Artsy. I think it was on their blog, and it was around the time when Seth was over there doing his retreat. And, oh, I've forgotten her name. The lady that owns, the lady from New Zealand who owns the Paper Artsy. She took you on a tour around her studio, her business, where she makes the stamps and all that kind of thing, and it was really, really interesting to see you know, where all of our stamps and stencils come from, and a little bit of the process on how she makes them. So it's worth going on and finding it if you can, and having a look, because I was fascinated. Now, can you sort of see here, I'll bring this up. I do this a lot, and I just keep working down to, I start off with one colour and then I keep lightening it until I end up with white really at the end, whereas at this stage I'm going to use pumice. But I quite like doing this. I use the same stencil. If it's a leaf stencil, I'll turn the leaf stencil around so that it's all different. But I really love doing this technique because it just builds up texture, and it pushes your background back, but it tricks the viewer's eye, and you want to have a look in to sort of see all the different layers, because anyone that sort of has worked with me before, I do love doing lots of layers, and so this is one way that I do that. Sticking with one colour and then just changing the tonal value till I end up with white, but in this case I'm going to do pumice. Is it pumice? Yeah, pumice. I don't know if you've got this, but it is actually a really lovely texture. It's beautiful. I think I could see me using that a lot instead of using white. And each time I'm doing it too, I always make sure that I'm not putting circle on circle. So I'm trying to make sure that so for instance, I'll do this here. That way I know the stencil is not underneath exactly the same spot. I do have a tendency when I'm doing this to do it all over sometimes. It's just because, I don't know, I just love doing it. And I just make sure that the space underneath is a little bit different. mean, I could go over this again with white if I wanted to, but if I wanted to make it stand out, but I think I would rather put splatters, white splatters on or something if I want to bring in the white. So if I've got a big blob of the red there, I'm just going to, just want to push back some of that reddy colour. For no reason, no particular reason, just that I can do that. So I often quite do. So let's have a look at that. You can still see some of the print underneath. Just waiting for the camera to catch up. Sorry, it just takes a while for the camera to catch up. So I'm hoping. I need to fix up the light there somehow. I think I need another brighter light. It's the closer I get up, the anyway. That looks lovely. I'm quite happy with that. So I'll just give that bit of a dry off. It's very hard when you're doing these lights because it's probably a good 20 or so seconds for my laptop to catch up. Okay. Oh, that's a bit hot. I might just, oh look, I've just grabbed the first stamp that I have on in my little box of tricks over there. Is a set after one, of course. This is from one of his sets. This is an older set, but the individual components I use all the time. ESA 22 is the name of it. Oh, sorry, I just have to have a drink of water. I think I'm going to put a little bit of stamping on here now. I am keeping kind of to the gridded sort of nature of things on this. Probably something that I do all the time. There's a few little dots on here, and that's great. That will be picked up too when I do some splatters later on. And I'm going to use just the part of it. You know, I rarely do I put stamps on a block. Okay, I love this stamp. It's actually got lots of grids on it, and it's also got little crosses and all sorts of things. So I just love what he does. So that's coming up really nicely. Okay, I might just leave that part there for a moment. Probably put a few little splatters on. But what I want to do now is find... So some of these things, I've also got out tonight some embossing powders, because I thought I might, because I'm just going to be putting little bits and pieces, that, oops, and that. Just excuse me for a minute while I here. So I really love, let me have a look at his, let me see, I just want to see what stamps they've got there. Yep, okay. So I'm going to stick with doing this and this, so that fits on there somehow. I'll put these away because they'll blow all over the place. Oh. Okay. So these are all laid up. I didn't mean to keep that out. So I've just got these at the moment. Now, let's have a look here. You can't see much of the Admiral, which is that blue on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint that in the Admiral, so that'll sit on there nicely somehow. And then I'm going to emboss these bits here. So let's just put some paint out. Okay. Oh, I think I might do this one too. Try and keep that part of it the same. Oh. Okay. All right, so just put that over there, let that dry off a bit. Okay, get that out the way. Now these two. Now I got out a couple of different things. Seth does have embossing powders that match these colours, but it's very difficult for us to get them in Australia. It takes a while to come through, I mean, so I haven't got them yet, but I have got others here that I can use. Now this is one from his last lot that he did. This is called Amethyst Eye, so it's this one here. So it's quite a shiny one and that kind of thing. I'm not quite sure if I'm sold on that one or not, but I will use it because I've got it out here. So I'm going to use that on this. Don't think I've got any others out yet. So I'm going to use this one on this particular one here, and I'll do something else with that. Maybe I might just do that one. I don't know. We'll see. So, embossing. Just put that over there. Couple of bits there. Put that on there. These fiddly bits can be a little bit cumbersome sometimes when you're doing, because you don't know how to pick them up when you're doing embossing. Just going to grab a bit of paper. Let's see what I've got here. This will do. Bit of paper side there. All right, so I'll get my embossing powder. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap over the top of that. So because it's so fine, it's very difficult sometimes to work with these. But let's see how we go with that. Okay, I can see it's all got, I've just re-inked my stamp pad, so hopefully it's all got stuff on it. Right, here we go. Pick this up gently, put that there, there, and put that there. Give it a good shake. Lots and lots of different elements in this. There's glitter, there's chunky bits, there's all sorts of things in here. Look, I know it looks quite purpley, but if a lot of that white comes out, it'll be quite nice. So I mean, this might be a bad choice, but anyway, that's okay. Come on. Alright, let me put that there. Just grab a little tool. Very gently that there. Mostly on it. Whoops. Ah! I do make these things look so difficult sometimes. Alright. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm so messy when it comes to embossing. I love it, but I'm a very messy embosser. Alright, so let's heat up our gun. There are some elements where it hasn't taken, but that's okay. Let that heat up for a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to tell with his chunky ones whether it's actually changed. I'm just heating that up so you can sort of see it. Come on. Don't die on me. All right. Okay, so hopefully that is all done. So I'll try and bring this up for you to have a look at. It's very delicate, but I'll bring that up just so you can sort of see. Wait for the camera to... And I've also activated that bit there because it's really quite 3D-ish. So I don't know if you guys can see it on there, but there's blue and there's the purpley colour and there's a white chunky, and so it is quite a very 3D sort of look. It gets quite dark, doesn't it, when I... Is it any better? Bringing that light in for you to have a look at. So gorgeous. Just waiting for it to catch up a bit. Anyway, beautiful. You just might have to trust me on that. But anyway, so that looks good. Let's hope that it's probably not quite the right colour. I probably made a bad choice there, but that's okay. And the idea is that that fits on there so precisely, and then that fits in there. Okay, so I just have to be careful when I glue it down because it's got a little bit of a mind of its own. Bring that up for you to have a look at. So I was just waiting for that to catch up. I just want you to sort of see what it's going to look like. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got this one. I just got to work out which way it goes. Is it that way? Or is it that way? Okay. Alright, so I shall get a little bit of glue. Now the frame I won't be able to glue until I put it onto the actual page, but this one I can glue down. Just going to put a little bit of glue all the way along. Not necessarily covering all of it. Spread that out a bit there. Just need a delicate hand for the moment. Just needs me to hold that for a little bit. It's all very delicate, isn't it? Sometimes I like to it's a looks pretty good. I mean, it's a bit white there, it's got to dry off. I haven't stuck it all down properly, but it's enough to catch it. So let's do this one. So do go onto the website and have a look, because there's lots of new stuff there, and all different stuff. Lots of Stamperia, lovely stencils and things like that, and all the papers. The new owl range is there. Don't miss that bit there. This is a new glue. It doesn't seem to be wanting to hold down. It's a new art. It's art by Marlene. But anyway, so there we go. Let's just dry that off a bit. Okay, so that's there like that. We'll just put that aside for the moment as well. Just put them on there. I'm thinking that I'll probably end up doing the splatters in the blue, just to tie that, because the blue's not coming through enough for me from the bottom, so that's probably what I'll be doing. I'll put that over there so I don't lose it. Now let's have a look at, we need some other little bits and pieces for this. So love their stamps, beautiful quality. The rubber stamps is fabulous. I quite like this ephemeral one, so I'll grab that. Let's have a look. It wasn't where you come from. I like this one because it's got text and writing on it, so I'm going to take that. That can be the words. Now I've got some offcuts here that I'm going to use. That's probably not, yeah, that'll do. I've got a bigger one in there. Let's have a look. Check out all of my, yes, here's some bigger bits. Okay, so I will use a block this time. Will that fit on there? Yep. Oh, make sure that it's straight. Not that it really matters, because I'll chop it off. Alright, okay, so I am going to, lost my stamp pad, just a minute, sorry guys. Okay, stamp pad, I'm going to use black. That on there, see how we go with that. Nope. Yep, that'll do quite nicely. I'll do a couple because I'm only using one, but okay. And I'll put that on there as well. I re-inked just before I come on, so it's a bit globby in some spots, but anyway, that's okay. Beautiful. Yep, I like that. Love the way how that's come up nice and fine. And you can see the typed text and the written text. Beautiful. What other bits have we got on here that I might like? Agent of Change. Ooh. Let's do this one. Shall I put that like that? Put that over there. It'll be on an angle. I'm going to be cutting around these, so that's okay. Oops. No, I don't like that. Okay. So we've got a few bits here, so I'm going to dry them off. Get rid of that one. Just dry them off. Oh, sorry, I just saw Michelle Kenner and the new virtual retreat. Looking forward to that. Here you were doing, yes, I am. I'm so looking forward to that as well. I've done a few of them over the last couple of years, as a participant, I mean. So this is my first time doing a class with Jen, so I'm looking forward to it. That's going to come before we know it. Poor Jen will get off the boat and then she'll be busy buying kits and organising kits and stuff like that. So she's going to be busy when she gets off. So, and it's looking good as far as, you know, the people, what Kate Crane and all that sort of thing, and so that's good. So I'm just chopping around, leaving a little bit of an edge around here. Yeah, there's always some beautiful classes. Girls do a lovely job, and Alyssa has been doing a couple of freebies over the last couple of months as well, so that's always good. She does nice classes too. Oh, sorry, I can't cut and talk at the same time. I got a little bit distracted then. So is anybody creating anything tonight, doing anything special? Sometimes it's just nice to sit and watch other people work. I find it inspirational to do that, because that's how we learn. Alright. can cut that straight because I haven't got my cutter on here. Oh gosh, I don't know if I've done that straight. Being too fussy, that's my problem. Now, what I might do, I probably should have done this before, but that's okay. It's what we do with these things. Now, I do have a product that I use. Just move these things out the way. Starting to get cluttered here. Just want to bring my... I've got those couple of bits there. Put that there. I've got this product. There's a couple of different products you can use, a magic mix and the thin medium. I'm going to use the thin medium tonight, but let me think. I want to yeah, I'm going to use the Admiral. I seem to be gravitating towards this Admiral colour. Not quite sure why. Something I don't do is clean my lids off properly, but anyway. Now this will change the viscosity of this paint. Now remember, the paint is it's an opaque paint. I'm now making it into a translucent paint, and I am just going to very lightly put some colour on it, just so it's not too stark. So I've now turned my opaque paints into translucent. Mostly because I won't do that. Okay, so I just didn't want those stark white images. So I'll bring that up for you to have a look at. So you can see there that that's the paint out of, let me just see, make sure. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that. I missed that that lesson, but I think I will do the same, go back and have a look at it. But can you see there? So the blue is quite opaque, but you can see straight through it. So I like that idea. So I can make my paints translucent at whim. Let's have a look here. Now, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just putting some bits on here. No real rhyme or reason. Now remember, I've got to put that one on there. Oh, glue didn't work. It's a new glue, and I don't know if there's something wrong with it or not, but for some reason it just doesn't seem to want to stick. Nothing is stuck down. Unusual. So I'll probably, you know, I want... I'm not even sure if I'll use that one or not, but just trying to think what I can do with that. It's not going to have too much on it, but so until I put this one down, then I'll put that across. That will give it some... I'm not going to use that glue just in case. I'm actually going to... I know it's an expensive glue to use on this, but it's handy. So I'm using my glossy accents just so that I can get this stuck down. Put that down there like that. Okay. Just putting ever such a little tiny bit on there. Now this, am I in? Right, so I just have to be very careful because that just sits on, the precision of these die cuts is just incredible. Now I know this doesn't look terribly exciting, but I will put that there. I mean, this page itself is not very enticing anyway, but it'll do. Actually, what I will do is nothing. See that behind there, that's okay. Nothing really very exciting about the composition of this, but that's okay. Whoops. Tell you what I will, you know what I might do at the end, I won't do it now because it'll take overnight to dry, but I might use my glossy accents to go over the ephemera word there so that that sticks out. I'm going to put some I probably should have done the colouring of the paper beforehand, but because I wasn't real sure what I was doing. Just trying to make this stand out a little bit more. Sorry, I start to concentrate and then I forget to talk. So when that's dry, I will go around it. Where is, whoops, just just bring this back and it's kind of dried up a bit, so I'll just put a little bit more. Can't believe how much paint I've used on this very little piece of drawing. I'm going to put a bit more of this on just to make it fluid, because I'm going to do some splatters. Put that up behind there because I make a mess everywhere. And just tip a bit of water in there. Okay. I don't mind a little bit going on the Alright, so let's just dry that off. I might have I got one that's sharp? Let's have a look. Yep. I'll put let that dry off a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of shadowing around the bottom. Got a little bit of water. This is, I use the Inktense pencils to do this. Most of you probably have the Stabilo All. Similar sort of thing. The only difference being is the Inktense is permanent when it dries, whereas it won't reactivate, which is what I like. I like permanency in the products I use, because I don't want any shifting. So that's why I tend to use the Inktense pencils. Just to create a little bit of shadow, gives a little bit of depth to your elements that you've put on here. Okay, and also what I'm going to do too, oh, I've got itchy fingers for something. I'll see how this goes. I'm going to put my finger in this. It might be a bit too wet, but we'll see. And I'm using the blue to add a bit of border. Beautiful. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. Dry that off. So having the blue border is just helps to keep everything contained within the page. And yes, Marion, the background is good. That's something that I tend to like to do, is I spend a lot of time on backgrounds, and yes, so you know, I do tend to do a few layers, and I know it's a background, but honestly it's important. And what I do on the background, I like to do so it enhances what's on the top. Now I know that that's not very impressive as far as you know, the form and the composition of the page, but it really is all about, these sort of sessions are about techniques and what you can do. I will, when I go off camera, I will go over that with glossy accents, so that tomorrow when I take a photo, that'll be all nice and 3D-ish and stand out, so that'll give that a little bit more oomph. And so I'll just try and bring that up a little bit so you can sort of see. I think I need to adjust my lighting a little bit. It's just not as light as what I would like. But it just gives you a little bit. I'm not real happy with the white there. Who knows, I might even go over that with a bit of blue. We'll see. But it does look quite intense sitting there. But yes, so thank you, girls. So I know it's just a very simple thing, mostly just to show you the background techniques and how they play an important part in your creating. And yeah, so do go on the website, have a look at the paints. These particular colours are really in my wheelhouse. I reckon I could use them quite a bit. And yeah, so I quite like that. And yeah, so thank you for joining me tonight. And I look forward to playing with you again soon, the 3rd Wednesday of next month. I'll be back here on Hillbilly Shenanigans. And yeah, so do have a look at the website, see what's new there. And yes, I love these colours as well. I think I'll be using them quite a bit. And yes, and don't forget to sign up for the retreat. It looks like it's going to be a good one. It seems to be getting bigger and better every time she does it. So lots and lots more people are gaining interest. And yeah, so it's great. So thanks, girls. I look forward to talking with you again soon, and I'll put a picture up tomorrow of this when it's finished. Okay, thanks, girls. See ya. Bye-bye.